Welcome back to the Quickbooks Video Series, hosted by Protea Academy. In episode 11, we'll be taking a look at sending out customer reminders and invoices from QuickBooks. First, we'll need to navigate to the left-hand panel and click on the Sales button. Under Sales, we want to navigate to Customers. Let's take a look at Mel's account as she has an open invoice pending. There are a few ways in QuickBooks to send out invoices or reminders to your customers. Let's first take a look at which ways we can do this before looking at the detail. Firstly, you can click on the invoice, opening up the right-hand panel. Under More Actions, you'll see the three options: Send, Send Reminder, and Share Invoice Link. You can also click on the Edit Invoice button to open up the invoice. As mentioned in a previous episode, here you can change the CC and BCC options before sending your invoice by clicking Review and Send. Another option is to click the drop-down arrow and click Share Link. The third way to send your invoices from QuickBooks is to click the arrow next to the invoice itself. As you can see, our three options appear again: Send, Send Reminder, and Share Invoice Link. Let's click on Send now to take a look at the details. On the right-hand side, we can see an example of how our email will look to our customer, with all the details intact. On the left, we can see where it's been sent from and who it's been sent to, as well as add our CC and BCC options. If you click this block, it will automatically add your email address as a BCC option. You can also edit the subject line as well as the body of the email below. This little pin is showing that the invoice will be attached via PDF as well to the email. Let's click on the Manage button. This takes us to our settings page. As you can see, we are automatically navigated to the Sales tab on the left-hand side. Let's move down to Online Delivery. Online Delivery gives us the option to make adjustments to how our emails get sent out of QuickBooks. We can decide to use a summary or a full-length invoice. We can attach the PDF of the invoice or leave it off by unclicking this block. There's also some other options we can change when sending out invoices from QuickBooks. Something to note is that any changes in the Settings tab will change any invoice sent from QuickBooks, not just the specific invoice we're looking at here. However, if we change items on this page, it will only change that for this invoice. Let's now take a look at sending reminders. The sending reminders screen looks very similar to the sending invoice screen. The details are still here on the right with the same from and to options with the option to CC and BCC. What has changed is in the subject, it now says Reminder. You can edit this and the body of the email as you want. Let's click on the Manage tab again. This again will navigate us to the Account and Settings Sales tab. Let's click on the pencil icon on the right to bring up the settings for reminders. Here you can see that automatic invoice reminders is toggled on. This means that when you create an invoice, the default option is to review and send the invoice. You can toggle this on and off. If it's on, you also have three other options for automatic reminders. Option 1 is to send out before the invoice becomes due, and you can change these dates as needed. You can also change the subject line to be unique. So if you would like to change this to say that it will be due in 3 days, we can do that. Just note that if you change the reminder settings here, This will be applied to every invoice sent out from QuickBooks and not just the invoice we were looking at before. You can also change the greeting or toggle the greeting on and off. You can also edit the body of the email to reflect exactly what you want to say. You also have two other options, which is to send automatic reminder on the day it becomes due. You can toggle this on and off, and the settings are similar to those that we looked at before. You can also have a third option of a reminder to send a certain number of days after the invoice became due. Let's take a look now at sharing the invoice link. If you click on the Share Invoice Link tab, it will generate a link from QuickBooks where you can send this to your customer from your own private email address, and they can click on this link to access their invoice. Let's take a look at what it looks like to access this link. This is how the page will come up for your customers. As you can see, all the details are here: the invoice, the due date, and the amount that's due. You can also download the invoice to PDF as well as print the invoice. If you click the View Invoice button, it will bring the invoice up on your current screen. You'll find all the merchant's details and who it was sent from and all the details you need to pay this invoice. Let's navigate to the Invoices tab at the top. You can also send reminders and invoices in batch. If we click a few items and click batch action, you can click the send option. We might want to be careful of sending invoices to everyone, especially those that have already been paid. So let's just click the overdue ones and send a reminder instead. Also, to avoid sending invoices that have already been paid, we can filter by unpaid invoices and then click on batch action and send or send reminder. Let's quickly navigate to the gear icon, Accounts and Settings, and take a look under the Sales tab. Here you'll find all your settings that you need for sales processing. Today, we're going to look at the settings for sending emails from QuickBooks. Let's navigate down and click the pencil icon to edit some of the information. As you can see, there's quite a bit of settings we can change, whether it's toggling on or off the greeting or changing which template we want to change. You can change estimates, invoices, or credit memos and make these customary to your business. Remember that changing items in the Account and Settings tab will change all your settings for all your invoices you send out from QuickBooks. So make sure that you're using generic terms and not specific names. You can also add a common CC or BCC email address, as well as make other editing changes or adding a note. For instance, you might want to add your bank details to every invoice you send out. Thank you for watching episode 11 of the QuickBooks video series, hosted by Protea Academy. In episode 12, we'll take a look at receiving customer payments.